Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to episode 1 of my Christmas accent nail designs. So just like my autumn nail designs, I'm going to be doing one nail. These are the medium almond from Beetles. I got them on Amazon. I will link them if they're still available. And then I have a little pile here of stuff I'm going to be using, and I will start off with the Cotton Candy Super Base from Brit Brat, which I think is Bratty Nail Co. now. And then I have a whole bunch of Madam Glam polishes and their no wipe top coat and their base coat. You can save 35% using my code LYN35 at madamglam.com. So first off, we have Fireside Embrace. I believe this was the red from the advent calendar from last year. And then we have a green that is Divine Noel, and this was the green that was in the advent calendar from last year, so 2024's advent calendar. And then Perfect White for our white. And then I pulled the Perfect Gold, and this is the new formula of Perfect Gold. It's more of like a foily. The original one is more like of a yellow gold. But anyways, we're going to go in with our base coat. And I've already prepped this nail. I kind of file the edge a little bit to get any little nub off of it. And then I buff over the entire surface before I go in with base coat. You could also go in with a nail primer if you didn't want to buff the surface. So now that we have our base coat cured, we're going to go in with this Cotton Candy Super Base. And I'm going to do 2 coats of this. And this is going to be like that nail bed color, so it's just going to give us that natural nail look. And this super base is a little bit thicker. It's kind of like a rubber base type formula, so it's going to be just a little bit thicker. It's going to add a little bit of structure to the nail, so you just want to kind of make sure that it's not settled on the end or anything like that, so it's nice and smooth. So there we have our 2 coats, nice and cured. And then I took all of the colors that I showed you previously, and I put them out here on my palette. And just a little drip drop's all you need. And then I'm just going to take this little like detail brush. I think it's a 9mm, yeah, 9mm liner brush. You can use whatever liner brush you want, just a small thin brush, because we're not trying to do really thick lines. We want to have a little bit more control. So I'm just going to start with the green on the left side of the nail, and I'm just basically making a part of a stripe going down the nail, not worrying too much about the top of it. I want it to be kind of jagged and not like straight across. We're kind of going for an abstract look. And I'm cleaning my brush at the moment with a little bit of acetone, because it did have some other gel in it that was making it kind of stiff. And I probably could have cut this out, but I didn't. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing off camera. I'm cleaning my brush so that it's not all wonky for me. And I think did I wipe off the green too? Yeah, okay. So we start over, because then I remembered to just pause it and start over. So I'm going to show you the stuff again. So here's all the stuff that I'm doing. I'm not going to cut this out. This video is only like 10 minutes long, so it's fine. You guys can laugh at me in the comments. But yeah, so I'm going to use a dotting tool and that detail brush that I showed earlier. And now I'm going to go in with the green, now that my brush is clean and usable. We're going to kind of load it up with some of that green, and we're going to start again over on the far left side of the nail. Not at the very edge, because I think I do go in with a little bit of the gold on the edge just to kind of, finish it off. But once I have it how I like it, I'm going to do another one on the other side, leaving a little gap on the right hand side as well. These do not have to be the same thickness. They do not have to be the same height. I was kind of going for a little bit of like a funky French. So it's like it's taller than a French, but kind of keeping it a little lower in the middle, if that makes sense. But you'll see how it turns out as we go. So I just flash cured that green, and I'm going to go in next to it, and we're going to do red. And I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just literally getting a little bit of gel on the brush, and I'm just pulling it down, making it as thin or as thick as you would like. Just know that you have to fit your red, your green, your white, and your gold. And so once I have that, how I like it, I'm going to wipe off my brush real quick, and I'm going to grab my little flash cure lamp, and we're going to flash that. I give it, like 10 seconds, just enough to hold it in place so that it's not going to like merge with the next color that we're doing. And our next color that we'll be going in with on this one is the white. So again, we're going next to the red, and we're going to fill in that space with the white. I'm going to leave, I think, just a thin space in between for a little bit of gold, but the gold can kind of go on top of everything, so it doesn't necessarily need to have like space, because the gold is just more of an accent. So now I'm just kind of flashing over the whole thing, and then we're going to go in, after I wipe off my brush again, we're going to go in with the gold, and like I said, I'm going to use that on that far left side where we began with the green. And then I'm going to go right in between that white and the green and do like a little stripe kind of over top of the green and the white. And then one over on the far right hand side. So we've got 2 of the green, 2 of the red, 1 white, and then we're just kind of peppering in the gold kind of here, there, and everywhere. You can do as much or as little as you want. And I'm trying to get it to focus. You can kind of see what I got going on there. So then once I went ahead and full cured that. So once that is fully cured, again, I'm going to try to get it to focus, but you can see it's just kind of like jaggedy edges at the top. That's the look we're going for. So I'm going to take my white gel paint. You could also use white gel, or I'm using white gel polish. You could also use white gel paint, but I am just going to go in with my dotting tool, and I'm going to kind of offset my polka dots and just do kind of back and forth down the green. And again, I'm going to flash cure that to hold it in place. And this is just going to give it a little bit more of a whimsical Christmas kind of feel. So it's not just the plain red, white, and green. I don't know exactly what I'm doing right here, unless I was changing the music that I was listening to, or looking at my phone or something. But I'm going to go ahead and clean off my brush once again, and we're going to go back into the red, and I'm just going to get a little bit on the tip. I'm not like loading up the whole brush because I want just a teeny tiny amount. And then I'm just going to take with very, very, very light pressure on the brush. I'm just barely touching and pulling it across the white to give kind of that candy cane stripe. And I'm just going to go all the way down the white, and I'll try to get it to focus. So there you go. And then I went ahead and full cured that, and this is what it is looking like. Super cute, super Christmassy. You could do this as an accent nail. You could do this on all 10 nails if you wanted to. I tend to go for like 1 or 2 accent nails and then do solid colors for the rest. If you're not wanting to be too flashy, that's what most of my clients get. But I'm going to go in with the no wipe top coat, and I'm going to go in with a pretty generous coat. Now, on most of my clients, I will double top coat just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And then we'll give that a full cure, and then I'll show you my reveal. Hopefully I can keep it in focus for you. But there we go. There's our cute little Christmas funky French with a little candy cane stripe and some little polka dots with gold. You could also do this with silver. I have done this before, like a New Year's look with black, silver, gold, white, and like a neutral color. So it's really versatile. But yeah, I thought it turned out super cute. And let me know down in the comments below if you would wear a look like this for Christmas. And yeah, that's all I got for this one. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you have an amazing day. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!